everybody, ice fishing season over? Did you put your gear away yet? Did you put it away properly? I'm going to help you do that so it's ready for next season when you get first ice. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start out with the rods and reels. I think everybody can agree that it's probably one of the most important things you have. When you put your rod and reels away, number one, make sure that the line that you have on your reel is fairly new. If it's more than 2 or 3 years old, you might want to just replace all of it. So take care of that. Make sure your reel seats are in good shape. Your reels, if they need a little attention, oil, cleaning, whatever the case may be, do that. Now on these I have 4 that I keep in my case. Each one of them I've gone over, making sure everything's working properly, making sure all the guides are tight, things like that. I keep them in a nice case to avoid any damage, and next year when I'm ready to go, I know all I got to do is pick up the case and take off. I got my favorite lures already tied on, so I'm ready to go. That's the way it should be. Make sure everything's nice and dry. Close up your case and put it away. Next thing I think is going to be the drill. Now, whether you have a manual drill like this, which I use around here a lot because we don't get more than about 6 or 8 inches of ice most of the time. But if you have a power drill, same thing. Make sure when you bring it in, take a good look at it. Make sure there's not any damage. Make sure any adjustments are turning free, rust free. Take a special attention to the blade. Now if you were cutting holes this year and it seemed a little tougher than before, might be because your blades are getting dull, worn out, chipped, whatever. Take a good look at them. Make sure that they are nice and clean, no nicks, rough edges. Make sure they're sharp as razors. If they aren't, now's the time to replace them. If they're nicked or anything like that, get a replacement blade, put it on, and you'll be good to go next year. That goes whether you have a power auger or manual auger or whatever you got. I put these rubber bands on there to keep the guard from falling off while it's being transported via sled or machine or whatever you got. Let's talk about tip-ups. I know a lot of you probably use them. Most of the time on tip-ups that I see around the lakes and all, everybody's using some kind of braid line, which I do also. When you gather them up the last day and roll them up and put them in your gear and bring them home, make sure before you put them away that your braid line is dry. If you put them away wet, it's not going to be good for the line. It could rot it. It could just, make it no good. But get home, pull out, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 yards. Let it dry for a day or two. Make sure it's nice and dry, then wind it back up. Make sure all your wing nuts are working properly. Can be tightened down, loosened up as needed. Make sure your flags are still attached and not damaged and about ready to fall off. Do that with your tip-ups. And again, you'll be in good shape for when you get first ice next year. Put a fresh hook on them. Tie a new knot. Be super ready. Everybody has accessories. This is probably, again, one of the most important ones. Your ice scoop. Some of them are plastic, some of them are small, some of them are big. This is a pretty nice one. This one's 20 inches altogether, but make sure on your scoop that the spoon part of it is, if it's attached with rivets, is it loose? If it's plastic, is it breaking? Is it bending? Does it need to be replaced? Do you have a good hand rope on it to put on your wrist while you're digging out the ice? Things like that. Have that ready. If you need a new one, get it. It's got to be replaced. Replace it now. Don't wait till the last minute. Be looking around for one of them. What else we got? Hey, how about heaters? Anybody that has a hut probably has a heater in one form or another. If it worked good for you the last time you had it out, that's fine. Bring it back, clean it up. I keep mine in its original box, so I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. But if it didn't work for you, if it needs a part replaced, or it just isn't working at all, get rid of it, get another one, be ready to go next year. Electronics. Everybody has some type of flasher or camera and flasher. For those of you with a few extra bucks. This is an old Vexilar. Actually, it's a Homedex, which is older than most of them. Don't laugh at it, it still works good. It helps me find fish, but the thing here is, clean it up, clean it off. The batteries, whether it be camera or whether it be flasher, make sure your batteries are still in good shape. You get them home, charge them up, bring them up to full charge. And every month or so, put the trickle charger on them, bring them up to full charge again. You don't want to leave the batteries sitting around all summer, 3, 4, 5 months, without a good charge. Charge them up every once in a while, you'll be ready to go. First ice, pick it up, take off. A couple more things here. Everybody probably has some type of sled to hold their gear in. Whether you're pulling it with your ATV or your snowmobile or by hand, you got to take care of it. But the thing to do here when they bring it home, clean it up. But on the bottom side, put a fresh coat of silicone on it. Put silicone on the bottom of your sled. It'll keep the snow from sticking to it, and it'll make it a heck of a lot easier to drag. So you just spray it on there. Pretty simple to do. Get a good coat on. It'll take a day or two to dry depending on the temperature that you have, but I keep mine in the basement. It dries in about a day. Put a good coat of silicone on it. Everybody's got, almost everybody's got some type of hut. I have a Eskimo pop-out type of shelter, and when you take that down for the last day and you bring it home, I guarantee it's going to be damp inside from condensation or just being out around the snow and everything like that. Bring it home. Don't pack it away yet. Open it up, whether you have a basement floor or garage floor. Open it up best you can. If you can pop it open all the way, that's great. But at least open it up, let it dry out. I let mine dry out for, I think, 3 days to make sure it was good and dry. Then I wrapped it up, put it back in its case, and I know it's perfectly dry. It's going to be perfect when I want it again next season. Hey, how about a Spud bar? Everybody's got one of these. You probably use it, especially on the first couple times out when you're walking on the new ice, making sure it's safe. But your Spud bar's got to be taken care of. Make sure you have a good edge, and here again, kind of like your drill, look at your edge. Is it sharp? Is it nicked up? Is it banged up? If so, take it someplace, or even do it yourself. Sharpen it up yourself. Have it all ready to go next year. And again, first ice come next year. You do all this stuff. All you gotta do is grab it and go. You don't have to worry about anything being needed to be repaired or anything like that. Back to the shelter for a minute. If you have your anchors, make sure your anchor kit is fully stocked. Make sure you have the proper anchors and the proper amount of them and so forth. Put that all away, right where you know it's going to be. And again, that's all set for next year. Hey, there's just a couple more things that I want to touch base on. This would be your safety gear. Now, I don't have a lot of it, but I do have a 25-foot rope. I'm pretty sure it's a nylon rope. and I carry that around with me just in case somebody needs help. But if you have a rope, and you should, when you get that home, spread it out, make sure it's good and dry before you put it away. And if you notice here, a lot of times I'm saying make sure this is dry or that's dry. That's the most important thing with all your gear. Make sure it's dry. If you folks are walking on the ice, most of you will carry the ice pick, some type of ice picks. Take a look at them. If you haven't used them in years, and a lot of you probably haven't, I've never had to use mine, but make sure that the tip does work the way it's supposed to. When you press down the ice, the metal tip should come out. Make sure they aren't stuck or rusted shut. Make sure they're dry. A lot of you have, what do they call them, floater suits. I don't have one of them, but if you have one, you know, when you bring that home, make sure it's gets dried off. Make sure you get all the old fish slime off it. Turn it inside out. Hang it up for a couple days. Make sure it's good and dry, and then put it away where it belongs. Yeah, I think that's going to be a wrap on this little session. But you know, for those of you who have more gear, you have snowmobiles, you have four-wheelers, you got to take care of them as you see fit, and that's fine. What this boils down to, though, is when you bring your gear in for the last time, make sure that you dry it, clean it up, repair what's got to be repaired. If it can't be repaired, replace it, and you'll be all set to get out on that first ice next year. Do that. Have a good open water fishing season that's coming up now, whether you're fishing for flathead catfish or bass or muskies or trout or anything like that. Hey, have fun with it. Be safe. Thanks for watching the video. Go ahead and give it a like if you can. Make sure you share it if you know somebody that would like to see it. And hit the subscribe button, because there's always more stuff coming on this channel. See you later now. Thanks.